Welcome to a video where I can help you figure out if you need a game in 10 minutes or less. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. My name is MiAh the King, and the other day my wife said I could be an idiot sometimes. It was pretty cool of her to give me permission like that. Now then, today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called Lost Soul Aside, an action-adventure hack-and-slash game where you go on an adventure to save your younger sister. So, what even is this game anyway, and is it even worth it? Well, let's find out together. Developed by Ulti0 Games and published by PlayStation Publishing LLC, this game was released not in early access and is selling for $60. Basically, in this game, you play as some guy named Kaiser, spelled without the I. Anyway, you're a rebel of some sort for some reason, and you go about trying to be all rebel-like when aliens suddenly attack, and next thing you know, your sister's soul got sucked out, and you've got a dragon little buddy following you around. Could I go deeper into it? Maybe later, but for now, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'd have loved to have given you a little bit more detail, but the game didn't give it to me, so what can you do? Now let's dive into the good and the bad and help you quickly figure out if you should play this game or not. So let's go into the positives first, like we always do, and I gotta say, the game looks pretty good. All in all, the overall look and feel of the game's graphical and artistic design was just, it was very good. Like, it was pretty damn good. I was even trying to get a close-up of the guy's clothes just so I could actually see the detail, and surprisingly, it was there. Now, their faces may seem a little bit off from time to time, but for the rest of the game, everything looked really good. Good color choices, great contrast and attention to detail, not to mention the overall flow and lighting effects. Next up for the positives is probably a big one for a lot of people hopping into the game, and that'd be its gameplay. It's actually pretty legit, but before I go into quality, let's talk about it in general. The combat is fairly simple when you think about it, and while we go further, I'm talking PC control, so keep that in mind. Left click for light attack, right click for heavy attack, combinations of left and right click to create combo moves, special abilities that are unlocked the further you play, as well as interchangeable skills, weapons, and even attachments for said weapons. The combat itself, which is mostly what you'll be doing in this game, is very fluid, with great reactions and accuracy. It's nice and speedy, but also takes time to slow down every now and then, depending on the situation. And honestly, overall, it was really well designed. Not once while playing it did I feel like something didn't work or something felt off. It was the best part of the experience. So if you were looking for a good hack and slash game and don't care about anything else, then yeah, this would be a good one. The moves feel a bit samey at the beginning, but as you dive deeper in, you're going to get more experience and you're going to get to see new skills and upgrades and weapons and abilities and stuff like that, and even upgrades for said weapons and abilities, along with even unlocking more combo moves to further enhance and vary up the overall gameplay experience. Honestly, I don't have a single negative thing to say about the gameplay at all. It was just really well done. The game even allows you to find or unlock various attachments which you can then put on weapons which provide various buffs, and then even place them exactly the way you want them on the weapons. It is a little bit limited, but maybe it was just the one I was trying to use, so I ended up making it look a bit ridiculous, but here's the fun part. It actually showed up exactly as I placed it on the customization screen when I was actually freely moving around the world. That's actually a really cool, innovative idea that I've just not seen before, and I just thought that was really interesting and wanted to make mention of it. I could go further into it, but I'd rather not spoil anything else for you guys out there, so overall, the gameplay was just super well designed and enjoyable, which is good, but you'll find out why I'm mentioning why it's so good later. Next up is the sound design. Overall, the music is great, almost makes it feel kind of like Final Fantasy, but not. It's odd, but different, and I liked it. Not too bad, not too good, not too obnoxious, and not too subtle. It fit the theme and the moment, and worked rather well for the tone they were going for, depending on the situation. As for the sound effects, they sounded really good too. The slashing, the monsters, the magic, the explosions, it all sounded perfectly as you'd expect it to. And then we get to the voice acting, where sometimes it's decent.
All questions flow from the grand cycle. All answers are discovered within the grand cycle.
And then there are times where it is laughably pathetic. I actually laughed out loud when I first saw that to how bad it was. And I'm going to be honest, it only gets worse as time goes on. Also, I don't think the voice matches the look of the main character, just throwing that out there. But for the most part, they're not always awful, but it's awful enough that you're going to notice it. Next up is the user interface and the tutorial. Now, the game has a fairly decent yet optional tutorial that isn't overcrowd you or take up too much of your time. It comes as needed, tells you and shows you what to do and how to do it so you can learn, and then it moves on nice and quick. As for the user interface, it makes sense and it's not awkward, and it doesn't look anything at all like Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'll fight you to the death on this hill. This is also including the controls, by the way, but it works well. It feels fairly seamless, looks pretty good, and enhances the gameplay experience. I wasn't confused, annoyed, or frustrated with the game due to that, so that's a good thing. And last but not least is the level designs. They're fairly creative, very well designed, and look really good. There are some games that sacrifice graphical quality and things like background effects, but not here. Here it looks just as good in the distance as it does up close, and the level designs are fairly well designed. One moment it's a bunch of linear hallways, but the next I'm on a beach, and then I'm doing jumping puzzles, and then I'm doing a timed puzzle where I have to chase someone on all these ledges while I'm being attacked by spikes. Overall, it was pretty good. But now we gotta move into the negatives, and boy, do I have a lot to say about the negatives for this game. But before that, however, if you're enjoying the video or at least finding it informative, I'd greatly appreciate it if you'd like, comment, and subscribe. Every little bit helps a lot more than you may think. Also, hit that notification button below the video. I do these videos to help you save time and money, but I can't really do it if you don't hit the button and get notified in time. So make sure you hit that button and stay informed, alright? Alright, so now on to the negatives. So the first painfully obvious negative for me was the writing, and oh my gosh, it was awful. Don't worry, I'm going to show plenty of examples here in a minute, but first, I have no idea where I am because the game didn't tell me. I don't know the name of the world, I don't know the name of the city, I don't know what race we are, I don't know what race they are, I don't know what my last name is, I don't know anything, legit. Even after discovering a bunch of random notes that are supposed to be lore, I learned nothing. The world building is crap, and honestly, the writing is crap. Let me show you just a few of the examples of bad writing.
Those guards were poorly trained with no combat experience. They only know how to pick up the commoners.
Sometimes I can't tell if you're being modest or just boasting.
What exactly does she mean by that? Boasting or humble? How? How can you even make that statement in that way? Because those are complete opposites and words don't work like that. They're not even remotely similar. So how could you use them in this fashion? Like, that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, and you cannot convince me otherwise. That was just really badly done. Also, want to know what the cool dragon who becomes your friend is called?
What should I call you?
You may call me Lord Arena.
Yeah, his name is Lord Arena, and it's not some fancy version spelled arena or anything. No, it's just Lord Arena. Like, what the hell? And also, look at how your sister gets into trouble. Like, look what happens to her. She doesn't even go down by getting hit by like a memorable character or unique boss or something. No, just some random asshole, just some guy. Like, what the? Who's he? Why do I care? Like, what? This is what? Why him? Why? That's so dumb. Also, you want to know what the name of the mountain is that can save her?
According to legend, humans vanquished the Voidrax in a great battle at Mount Salvation, thousands of years ago.
Is that where they're based? Could Louisa's soul be there?
Yeah, you heard right. Her salvation is literally a place called Mount Salvation. Kinda on the nose, don't you think? And then you run into this weird fucker.
Golden Lion, have you come back to your senses?
Arena.
Yes, you heard right. His name is Lord Golden Lion. And it only gets worse from there. I swear the writers behind this game just have zero creativity. Hell, I watched these characters repeat the same lines over and over and over again while I was playing. It was so cringy that my wife, who was sitting right next to me, kept commenting about how bad the dialogue was, and she doesn't know anything about this kind of stuff. I obviously can't shove it all in here, but I took what I thought was the most egregious and placed them here to prove it to you, but I promise it's filled with shit like this. Cringe level 9,000. Next up for the negatives is the stability. This has been a big issue for a lot of people online, and despite me not having nearly as many issues as everybody else, I still ran into a few. For instance, the moment I started up my game, I was hit with this little error message. I don't even know what it means, but I was still able to play the game, so whatever, but it happened again when I exited the game, so I don't know. Throughout playing, I also faced so many frame rate drops that it made it very hard for me to pay attention to what was going on or to care. I guess I got lucky for not having it as worse as other people, but know that this game in its current state is severely broken and a lot of people saying basically unplayable. Hopefully that'll be fixed soon, but I wouldn't hold your breath. These game devs don't deserve our patience and our time anymore. Also, I discovered a few sound bugs where the music would just cut out suddenly, and I got stuck on a few things and just... yeah, it's not so good with its stability, so let's just leave it at that and move on. I don't want to talk about it no more. And last but not least, for the negatives is the price tag. I'm sorry, but graphics don't make the game, and this doesn't feel like a $60 game to me. I'd say at most I'd be willing to pay for this is $45. The graphics look great, don't get me wrong, and the gameplay is fun, but it has absolutely nothing else going for it. Horrible writing, chaotic voice acting, horrible stability, and a big lack of depth. It's just a hack and slash with a lot of running here and slashing things and then running there and slashing things, but it's not hard like Elden Ring. There's nothing else to the gameplay. Now, the hack and slash gameplay itself is actually really good, but I still feel like the game needed a bit more to be asking for $60. Like, there's no replayability because there's no choices. There's no dialogue. At least dialogue that you can affect. And with a story so boring, it's unlikely you'd pick it up again without those. So with all that included, plus the shoddy state, and I just can't feel like justifying $60 for this. When I grew up and paid for a $60 game, it was actually worth it, but this just isn't. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. So look, in conclusion, here's my recommendation. It's a fairly fun hack and slash game. It's got its good and it's got its bad. If you don't care about story, or if you like laughing at cringy, badly written dialogue and only want the gameplay, then hey, the game might work for you. But that would be the only reason why you're here, which means it doesn't have any longevity. It doesn't really have anything else worth visiting here. It doesn't do anything new or innovative, and it doesn't have any creativity. I mean, hell, even its combat reminds me of Final Fantasy 15 combat. So it's not really anything original or creative here at all. And despite looking good and the gameplay being a little fun, I just don't really see why I should bother with this game rather than going and playing a Final Fantasy game over again. My recommendation? Well, for now, just put it on wishlist, even if you are still interested, because it needs a lot of work on its stability before you do anything, because then you're just going to have a broken game on your hands. But after it gets a few updates and fixes its issues, and you still want to try it, I would still recommend waiting for a discount, because I just don't think it's worth $60, so get it when it's on sale. But hey, that's just my opinion. And that's all the time I got for today, everybody. So hey, thanks so much for watching, with a special thanks to those of you who stuck around to the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.